We're a confident group. We're going to be prepared for them to push back, but we're going to play our best game this season.
Rosen steps in, late, shoots, scores! In behind the knee, shoots, scores! Shot, scores! Marksman! In on McKenna, backhand, scores!
Tuesday night, it's the same thing every day. My boss just can't catch me this way. And Wednesday comes and it's on. Every little thing on Thursday's fun. There's nothing wrong at 5 o'clock. Have a tailgate party here in the dark. The girls all come to blast this song. By 2 a.m., yeah, we're all gone. You may be wrong, what can I say? Right off tomorrow and party on the weekday.
It has been 51 years since Toronto last celebrated a professional hockey championship. Tonight, that wait may be over. The Toronto Marlies are just one victory away from winning its first ever Calder Cup title, and handled with kid gloves, the precious piece of hardware arrived at Ricoh Coliseum earlier tonight. For the visiting Texas Stars, however, it's a matter of win and stay in, lose and they are out. And the end of a great season could happen here and now tonight. They hope to extend their lives to at least Thursday night. Andreas Johnsson arriving at the rink earlier tonight. He won a Swedish Hockey League championship 2 years ago. Trevor Moore, free agent signee 2 years ago, a main part of the team's fourth line. And the rest of the guys, the veterans and Captain Ben Smith arriving at the rink, looking to win here tonight, looking to win a championship. Ricoh Coliseum in Toronto, it's Game 6 of the Calder Cup Championship. The Texas Stars and the Toronto Marlies, and the Marlies were the first of 2 attempts to win a coveted championship. Hi everyone and welcome to Rocca's Ricoh. A fabulous building. In fact, buildings in Texas and here have been packed for each and every one of these games. They've added a bunch of seats in beside me here tonight. Those seats are filled, and a crowd of around 8,500 fans expected to watch this game here, hoping to see their Toronto Marlies win. Big news for the Marlies on the injury front. Travis Dermott, who sat out previous game because of an upper body injury, took the warm-up. He's been deemed good to go. Andrew Nielsen will come out. Dermott heads back in. Toronto 10-1 in the postseason at home. That only loss coming just a week ago to these very same Texas Stars. Plenty of ambience in the building. We'd like to provide you with a piece of it. So the next voice you will hear will be that of public address announcer Simon Bennett.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise if you are able? Remove your hats and join Doug Tranquata in the singing of our national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Championship hockey has come to Toronto this June, and the regulars of Ricoh has been joined by a hungry home crowd, and they are ready for more. In goal for the Texas Stars, Mike McKenna.
Mike McKenna, who led in 5 goals in Game 5, is right back in there tonight to try and get his club to an all-important 7th game if he can bounce back here tonight. And he's 13-7 in the Calder Cup playoffs. And Garrett Sparks is 13-4, 2.15, a .918 save percentage, looking to see if he can secure the Calder Cup championship for his club. And there's Derek Laxdal, the head coach of the Texas Stars, Western Conference champions, and the Eastern Conference champion Sheldon Keefe, looking to win a Calder Cup this evening here on home ice.
Frederick Gauthier ready to take the draw here in front of a solid home crowd, sold out at Ricoh Coliseum. Opposite him, Sheldon Dries, who has 9 goals so far for the Texas Stars in the Calder Cup playoffs. Right away, sent into the Toronto zone, and back behind the goal. It comes over to Colin Greening. Finding Marty Marincin, who works it against the end boards as things get going here at Ricoh Coliseum. Out on that line as well, Pierre Engvall as Marincin lets it go around. Drives, and Flynn Remieli out as well. Engvall takes a shot from behind, and now it's picked up. Hall across the line, looking in for Greening. Up front, and that one slides through the blue paint as Colin Greening puts the backhand to it. Racing down, Justin Dowling into the Toronto zone, feeding it back out front. McKenzie back on Sparks by Morin, and Sparks comes up with the early save.
A terrific save by Garrett Sparks here. 50 seconds into period number 1, and Justin Dowling, who's been terrific all series long, he finds Curtis McKenzie, and McKenzie with the backhand pass to Travis Morin. And if not for the defensive play where they just get a stick on it to slow the pass down a little bit, Moran's got to wait for the puck to get there, and his backhand can't get past Garrett Sparks, who makes a good save with his body and his arm to not let that puck get by him.
Adam Brooks against Dowling, who wins it back. Hetherington toward the goal, knocked down out front, just wide as Dowling got a tap on it. At the line and sent in. This line has been so dangerous for these Texas Stars in the playoffs. Calle Rosen, dangerous too, along with Trevor Moore. Out of the corner, out front, and that one glances off the goaltender. Picked up by Hetherington as he tries to move it back out, but in the way, Mason Marchment. Moore comes quick back to it. Hetherington moves it again. This time up to Dowling. He's going to gain the red line and send it in on the goaltender. Loverde. Back over for Rosen. Had a little trouble with it. It's played back out into center. Grundstrom trying to get to it, but it's hammered back in. Loverde from behind his own goal. Good pace early here by both these clubs. Justin Hall down the left side, ahead at the line. It's offside as Miro Aaltonen and Justin Hall try to combine to bring it back inside the Texas zone.
Well, and you see Travis Dermott back in the lineup here tonight. He sat out game number 5 in Texas with an injury, and I'll tell you, full marks for this young man to bounce back. You suck it up when the team needs you the most, and here with an opportunity tonight to win a Calder Cup championship, he wants to be part of it.
Hall in, shoots, rebound, comes over Janssen, nearly there. Dermott, long way away, picked up Grundstrom, throws it into the corner. Turning around on it, Regner gets it up ice, and here comes Rotme Hintz, working in against Dermott, feeding it across the ice, but it is off the man in Hetherington's side of the goal as Garrett Sparks directs it away. Aaltonen back up and finding Janssen. Cross ice, Grundstrom in alone, turns back, lost an edge and went down, and he pried it back to the blue line where Timashov picks it up. He's working with Mueller and Smith again as Grundstrom comes to the bench. Liljegren, cross ice, looking for some help in the middle. Ben Smith still after it in the slot. Smith trying to pick it up, and Marincin lifts it off a stick. Timashov working down along the near boards, and into the corner it goes. Mueller, centering pass, gets by everybody. And Marty Marincin retreats, putting it onto the stick of Dmytro Timashov. 4 power play goals in the playoffs. And after it was Ben Smith. He nearly got a hold of it behind the goal. Up ice, Sheldon drives off his stick. Loverde trying to keep him off it. They'll let Rosen get after it. Off the glass, into the line. Out it goes. Travis Morin moves it back. Gets some defensive help in the process. Off the boards and not in. Bodmerchuk finding Morin again as he sends it down into the corner. Gauthier hard after it. Dowling picks it up out of the corner on his backhand. Moves it back to the line. Bodmerchuk working over to the far side. Greening has an eye on him. McKenzie and Loverde go to the corner after it. Greening comes in and fights his way to the puck and picks it up. He's got Engvall heading south, and now Greening across the line drops it back, but it's offside.
Now Toronto Marlies trying to get some speed through the neutral zone and back off the Texas defenders. And Frederick Gauthier just steps offside, so we'll get changes on both sides here as we've played just 8 seconds, less than 4 minutes here in period number 1. Shots favoring the Texas Stars, 3-2 so far in this one.
L'Esperance wins it back to Nyberg, who is in the lineup tonight. He was scratched for the last 5 he got in game 1 of this series. Sparks clatters off the glass, and Marchment sends it back out. Moore nearly captured it and had a little bit of speed. Chopped back out across the line. Austin Fighton sends it in, but the Stars are offside. Liljegren comes back behind his own goal, looking ahead. He's got Marchment, but he carries it himself and then sends it along as it bounces off Brooks and down the wall. Regner able to get a hold of it. Moves it quickly, trying to find it up ice, says Brooks, right back to it. Spinning out of it, Dickinson. Cross ice, finding Hall and looking for a little bit of room and a change in the process for the Marlies. Hall will carry it back to Aaltonen, looks in, shoots, and a stick save, and that one goes over the snowbank as the Marlies and Stars getting to know each other again in game number 6 as the Marlies lead this series 3 games to 2.
Got back on the board here with a couple assists in the last 2 games, as through the first 3-4 games of that series, Aaltonen and Grundstrom had a difficult time trying to get on track, but in game 5 they got that line in gear, and that was the difference, certainly, to put the Marlies in position here tonight with a 3-2 advantage coming into this game.
Mueller slams it off the boards. Regner gets some attention from Grundstrom, and now Janssen at the line and all the way back down the ice. That one will roll. They'll take the stroll for it and pick it up on the icing call. Bring it all the way back in with 5:04 gone here in the first period. Well, look at the last games that occurred, including that game number 5, 6-2 convincing win.
Well, and after the first 4 games were highly contested, each one a one-goal hockey game, and the Marlies break out with a pair of goals 47 seconds apart after getting the initial goal a minute and 32 seconds into the hockey game, and that was the
Regner
difference.
stumbles. Here comes Janssen after it, and now Regner on a second effort is able to get it out, and Remieli across the blue line working against Loverde and Rosen. They get a hold of the puck.
Regner trying to get to the bench. It's his shot blocker that came apart, and he was tripping all over it.
Offside as Grundstrom danced along the line, and the tune not to the linesman's liking.
And there you get a look at the Westlock Alberta native. Brent Regner, he's going to go around the goal, and you see the strap of his shot blocker comes undone, and it's a Velcro strap, and then he goes to get up, and he has to sort of push with one foot on one knee, get to the bench, and he discards it, and we're going to play on, and he's been pivotal for the back end of the Stars in this series. He's got 3 assists in the 5 games.
Velcro, it's a miracle fabric, but not so there. Archer sends it in. Off goes Marincin. Engvall along the boards, leads it back for Gauthier, and now they're going to have to find it and knock it back out. Gauthier picks it up across the line. Frederick Gauthier rips one on goal. That one high into the goaltender.
I would think that if you're the Toronto Marlies, you're going to shoot from everywhere and get pucks to the goal. After McKenna gave up 5 goals in game number 5, looking to see if he can bounce back.
Rip of a shot by Engvall. Here comes Hall. Looks in out front, and a little tip at the line, and back the other way as Marincin tries to pick it up. McKenzie back with Dowling off of Sparks, who makes the save. Engvall comes right back with Mueller across the line. Mueller shoots, and it goes off a stick into the glass. Ben Smith right back to it. Mueller on the end boards, holding it there, looking for some help finding Ben Smith, but it comes off the wall as Lesperance sends it back up and out, and very nearly an opportunity on a misplay for Markusen as Timashov slams it back into the zone. Smith looking for Timashov. Dermott as well. Out of the corner, Austin Fighton taken away by Smith, but they do find Bayreuther. And now back through center, Markusen working against Travis Dermott, keeping him out wide. And that shot goes up and out of play, and Loverde ends up in a little bit of tangle with Joel Lesperance. The Toronto Marlies holding on here in period number 1. No score as Dowling gets a chance.
Dowling's been terrific for the Texas Stars in this series. 2 goals, 6 points, and a couple of good chances in this hockey game. Martin Marincin is going to try and keep the puck in the offensive zone. It gets chipped away by Curtis McKenzie. So a 2-on-1 break between Dowling and McKenzie. Dowling elects to take the shot, and Garrett Sparks comes out, cuts the angle down, and gets the blocking glove on it to prevent the Texas Stars from opening the scoring here in game number 6.
This will bring the draw to the glove side of Garrett Sparks. Dickinson, a little housekeeping before the puck ready to hit the ice. Adam Brooks opposite him. In the defensive zone, Brooks leans in, has a look, gets some instruction. Ready to put the stick down. There it is. Wins it back, and right to it was Rosen. A couple of steps in Loverde. Up the boards, Dickinson able to get in the way. Moore challenging for it. And now Loverde finds some empty ice. Adam Brooks right back. Loverde had skimmed by him and back up along the wall. Mason Marchment to it. The puck not toward the goal. And the Marlies having a tough time bringing it up and out. But Moore gets a hold and races back the other way. He lifts it down into the near side corner. Brooks goes after it. Up along the near wall. Rope hints. Lays it out, but the Stars regroup. As they're making a change, Marlies trying to take advantage. Janssen along for Grundstrom. Marincin waits, shoots, and Marincin, he was looking at Miro Aaltonen coming in on the backside, and then he thought he might get the goaltender doing the same.
Well, the Toronto Marlies a bit of a hot potato in their own zone in that last shift, but once they get going in the offensive zone, they corral a loose puck, and it's Martin Marincin trying to buy a little time to get some traffic in front of the goaltender for the Texas Stars, Mike McKenna. And when he lets this shot go, McKenna swallows it up in the midsection and doesn't allow a second attempt, as you've got a couple of Marlies on the top of the blue paint looking for some crumbs, but there was nothing available.
Miro Aaltonen tossed. Janssen comes in. Grundstrom comes back off the draw. He got a touch to it, but the Stars gain possession. Right back out. Aaltonen takes his man out of the play and allows Liljegren to move it along. Grundstrom tips it in. Reese Scarlett strolling after it. Moves it back as Aaltonen makes contact. Back up to Sheldon Dries, and through the middle come the Stars waiting on it. Lifted down toward the goal. Sparks lets it go. It comes out the other side. Now Grundstrom digging for it. Liljegren got one hard there, and he's back on his feet, but tentatively, as it comes to the near side wall. Back up the line. Long shot drifts wide. Janssen reaching for it. Back up. Nyberg fresh into this game. And Janssen plays it back out. A bouncer for Grundstrom. And he fires a long one into the glove of Mike McKenna. Right back the other way. Justin Hall leans back, gives it back to Frederick Gauthier. And now Engvall bangs it off the boards. Greening just had a step, but he left it behind on some snow. As Greening works off the boards. They take it from him, but a little help from Hall keeps it down deep. Engvall, a touch to it. And that one goes up and out and untouched. And the Marlies are going to the power play.
Well, the Toronto Marlies and head coach for the Texas Stars, Derek Laxell, not too pleased, but this is one of those unfortunate plays as Bayreuther trying to work the puck up the wall, and it goes right off the tip of his stick and up and over the glass without touching anything. And as a result, it's actually Travis Morin who shoots that one up and out of the...
He just scooped it.
He scooped it out of the air, and as a result, the first power play of the hockey game will go to the Toronto Marlies, and that is something that Coach Sheldon Keefe said that it can be the difference whether we win tonight or not, and that's the special teams battle, and their power play is just 1 for 12 in the series, so it would go a long ways towards a victory here this evening if their power play can get working for them here tonight.
Start to connect. Calle Rosen's been connecting. He leaves that one back for Moore. Knocked down at center. Moore along for Smith. Moore goes after it and plays it along for Mueller. Back Janssen, he gets it. And now Mueller down low. Smith from behind the goal looks out front. Finally Mueller again. Onto the faceoff dot. Out front. Shot. Up high. Knocked down and will not fall as Janssen centers it again. And the only folks there, the Texas Stars, as Markinson races back. 2-on-1, trying to feed it in the feet, and Chris Mueller crashed into the goal mouth. And he gets up, shaking his head a little bit, but he's all right.
Well, the Toronto Marlies power play is trying to get on track. Ben Smith with an excellent pass. He gives it to Mueller. Then Mueller's going to give it back to Smith. And then right about 5 feet out in front of the blue paint, Trevor Moore for the one-time shot. He doesn't quite get all of it, but then the Texas Stars pick up the loose puck, and they get a 2-on-1 break going in the opposite direction. And Markinson trying to thread the needle across, and it goes off the Marley defenseman's skate. But at that same moment, Chris Mueller coming back hard, loses his footing and takes the goal off.
Aaltonen wins the draw. He's behind the play as Liljegren drops it back deep. Here comes Timashov up ice, trying to find Grundstrom. That pass off the mark, and the Marlies will have to start a ways away. They've got less than a minute with the extra man.
Texas Stars penalty killers have been terrific in this series. 11 for 12 coming into this one. They've been real aggressive, but more importantly, they've stood up their blue line very well, forcing the Marlies not to be able to get in their zone and set up their power play.
Leading it in. Tipped it. Dribbling along the blue paint, but McKenna is able to clean it up. That one looked like it had some intent.
Well, you know, we talk about a lot of different players, the length of their sticks. Timashov feeds the puck after the give and go with Miro Aaltonen, and Aaltonen does sweep it one-handed. He uses that right hand to sweep his stick across. He gets a good chunk of that puck to try and chip it up and over top of that right shoulder of the goaltender, Mike McKenna. But McKenna does an excellent job of sticking with it, getting himself big in that butterfly position, and he gets that right arm up to make sure the puck doesn't get by him.
Tricky save. Mike McKenna able to make that one. Dickinson plays it all the way back down the ice again. Calle Rosen comes back. Now Janssen out with Mueller, Moore, Ben Smith. Janssen steps into it. Steps by one. Cuts back in through center. Offside, and Ben Smith, he doesn't think so. But that's not how they saw it. They blow the whistle, and they'll bring it out across the line with 12 seconds left to go in the power play as Travis Morin will exit the box.
Well, Ben Smith, a goal and 3 points in this first 5 games of the series. Again, here on the power play, trying to use their speed and just a little bit quick as Janssen making one last move to get the line across the blue line before he moves it, but it's offside.
Sheldon drives Adam Brooks. One back and to the red line, but that's as far as it goes. Justin Hall cross ice. It's behind Marincin. And now we're back to 5-on-5 as Morin exits. And Hall tries to carry it across the line. He does. Down into the corner. Nyberg is there, but so are the Marlies. But it pops up. Morin back. Left side, trying to feed it through to Curtis McKenzie. He does get it into the zone. Marincin there to pick it up. Ernie Marincin. And Justin Hall. And Hall had it wander on him. And it comes to Brooks, who moves it along to Moore. And Marchment going to the goal. Moore turns around, and Marchment spinning and falling, trying to get it back out front. Knocked down from behind. Adam Brooks to it at side of the goal. Marchment heads out front. Brooks still hanging on to it. Round behind, finding Marchment. He's got Greening out there. Knocked down. Greening looking out front. Shot! Stopped by McKenna. Not sure if Marchment quite got anything on that. Back to the blue line. Loverde retreats and gives it back to Travis Dermott. Back to Loverde. Across the blue line. He's got Engvall going. Shoots! In and out of the glove there of McKenna. They let it go, and Frederick Gauthier holds his man off. Bayreuther in behind the goal, jamming at it at the side door. Engvall turns around, dropping it back for Loverde. Looks out front, cuts in the backside, and boy, if he made contact with Gautier's skate, it's a goal. Gauthier, cross ice, Dermott shoots, and knocked down out front. Well, it's both Bednarchuk and Greening. Out front again, little tip by Greening. In came Aaltonen after it, and Dickinson plays it back out, and now a collision with the linesman.
Now, Toronto Marlies with an excellent shift of controlling the puck in the offensive zone and working it down below the goal line, then trying to find the late man coming in. Not quite being able to connect, but tiring out the defensive players here for the Texas Stars when you get shifts like that.
That one goes off of Aaltonen. Grundstrom back up high, pounded by Rosen. And now stepping, Janssen was looking for Grundstrom. Rosen picks it up again, looking out front. That one will be scooped up by Mike McKenna, who gets a hold of it and gets a whistle. And they needed it. We'll be back with more Scotiabank Toronto Marlies hockey.
The shade line because of how big and imposing they are. You got Colin Greening, Frederick Gauthier, and Pierre Engvall, and they're all over 6'2" and well over 200 pounds. And they've done an excellent job here in this first period here of controlling the puck in the offensive zone, getting their cycle game going. The defense get involved as well, and they're knocking on the door to try and get the first goal here for the Toronto Marlies here in Game 6.
Well, Mike McKenna having a little chat there with Chris Schlenker, the referee. Terry Koharski, the other referee in this contest. Game 6 of the Calder Cup final. Texas Stars, Toronto Marlies. Chris Mueller used to play for the Texas Stars, won himself a Calder Cup there. Back up to the line, Loverde. Over to Mueller, lifts it toward the goal. It's up high as Timashov picks it up and moves it around. Smith, back to Mueller. Smith from behind the goal, hanging on to it. Ben Smith, shot, goes up into the glass and takes a funny grinding hop. It drops down into the zone. It's cleared back out. Loverde, Smith chips it back in. Off goes Timashov. Hetherington working on it. Smith able to pick it up. It's got Hall along the near board. Hall towards the goal. Timashov was there trying to pick it up as well. And Smith causing the Texas Stars to rethink things. Now he'll go off. Regner looks ahead. Johnson caught an edge and went down, and now Remy Ellie picking it up. No, Johnson steals it away. Johnson finding Altonen, shoots, rebound, and Grundstrom taps it back. Long launch, back out the near side. Altonen racing for it. Back over Grundstrom's side of the goal. He was hoping to hit it off Johnson, and again a save by McKenna. Johnson picks it up again, looks out front. Ripped by Marincin, stopped by McKenna. And now along the boards it goes. And over across the line. Grundstrom with a dangerous one. As Hall picks it up. Carl Grundstrom waiting it out here as Justin Hall got it awkwardly, and Justin Dowling right there. And now the Stars converging with their top line. It's been so dangerous throughout the playoffs. Brooks moving it quickly, finding Moore. Marchman fighting his way to the goal. Moore gets some help from Marchman. Out front, Adam Brooks on the wraparound. Lifts it up and stopped by McKenna. Back up Loverde. Great save by McKenna. Tipped out front, a roller toward the goal. That is cleared back up and out. McKenzie hammers it back in, but this one will go for icing with 4:20 remaining in the first period. The crowd here in Toronto likes what they see from the home crowd.
Well, the Texas Stars came out the first couple of shifts, and they applied some pressure and got a couple of good chances. But since then, it's been all Toronto Marlies. And the youngster Adam Brooks doing a good job. He tries to wrap around. McKenna gets the save, but then he corrals the rebound himself and tries to go short side shelf. And the veteran McKenna again gets the blocking glove on it to keep Toronto off the scoreboard. But the Marlies seem to be pressing here as they lead on the shot clock. It's 14-4 in favor of the Marlies, but no score in the hockey game.
Here comes McKenzie along for Morin. He holds up, hangs on, and it wobbles its way over to Travis Dermott. Onto the stick of Mueller through the middle. He was hoping to find Johnson. He'll have to chase after it. Fight placed up along the boards. Caught up. Smith keeps it in, but fighting right there to move it back to Nyberg. Mueller trying to chase it down on Bayreuther. Fighting moves it back out into center, but Hall cuts it off. And now Justin Hall waiting on it out front, and he puts it right on goal. Ben Smith waiting for a rebound, but Mike McKenna soft on that one as he swallows it up. We'll be back with more Marlies hockey in a moment.
Well, the veteran goaltender Mike McKenna, 35 years of age, a St. Louis, Missouri native. And you know what, I had a little chat with him before he came out on the ice for practice this morning. And I tell you, cool as a cucumber, laughing, joking, and he knows he's having a ball. And, sure. You know, he knows, hey, I gave up 5 goals. It's on me in game number 5 to put our team in this spot where we're facing elimination here tonight. But he fully expects that he's going to come back in and keep his club in the hockey game and allow them a chance to try and fight back to tie this series up. And he's been good to his word so far as he's made 15 saves here in period number 1.
They love him in Texas. What's not to love? Back up at the line. Marincin lifts it down the wall into the corner. He's done everything to put this team in the final. Back up, long shot off into the corner. Engvall goes after it. Scarlett there holds him up, and it is picked up. Hintz plays it up ice. That gets by everybody. And that'll be picked up for icing with 3:14 remaining in this first period in front of a packed house at Ricoh Coliseum as Frederic Gauthier comes back. What a playoff series. What a playoffs Frederic Gauthier's had.
He really has. And, you know, it's funny because he's a third-year pro. He gets up, you know, and plays games in the National Hockey League earlier in the season, 9 of them to be exact. And he came down and then he kind of went into a bit of a funk and didn't play that great the last part of the regular season. But when the playoffs came on, he turned his game up another couple of notches, and he has been outstanding. And he said, hey, he played it for a Memorial Cup when he was a junior.
Yep.
He won a World Junior Championship for Canada. He won a World Under-18 Championship. So he knows what the pressure's all about and to perform in those pressure-packed situations. And he certainly has done that here in the Calder Cup playoffs, as he has really done a great job with that shade line, we're going to call them, as the Marlies again here have a 3-2 advantage in Game 6.
Outside the line, Adam Brooks comes out, and Marchment fires it back in. McKenna stops it up, and the Stars send it right back out. And in fact, that one will go for a ride, and they'll bring it all the way back. Remy Ellie having a conversation with Trevor Moore, and the two of them glide and glance together, and then Marchment comes in to add his voice to the conversation.
Well, Remy Ellie has really shown some good speed in this series. He hasn't been able to get on the board as far as points are concerned, but he's been one of those guys that is the big man in the forecheck and terrific in the penalty kill so far for the Stars in this one.
Here's Moore. Leads it back in. Marchment works on it. Kicks it back as Moore is right there. Marchment down the wall again. Gets right back up. Keeps whacking at it. But this time it is sent back out. They'll try to make some changes, the Texas Stars will. Back at the line. Boy, McKenzie came screaming in there as the puck finds its way to Timashov. Now a shot right on, and Timashov, what a dart of a shot. 2:20 to go in the first.
Well, the one thing that McKenna, I find, during the course of the series has had a difficult time of controlling rebounds. He lets pucks squirt away from him. He makes the initial save, but the puck will squirt free. And here this evening in this one, he's done a much better job. He's coming out to the top of the blue paint, and he's making sure that when he's those long distance shots, he's getting them, and he's not taking any chances. He's squeezing them for whistles to get face-offs so that he doesn't allow the Marlies second and third chances.
Comes back out past Hall. He's got to step quickly. Moving it back, Timashov, but it's Nyberg who moves it back in. Hall turns around. He's got some help cross ice, but he moves it along to Smith, who tipped it along the boards, but that one sent in. Dowling had to touch up as Hall moves it along. Marincin, Timashov in some open ice. Now he's going to work back with Mueller down the left side. Mueller gets some opposition, try to cut back in, leaves it back to the far side, but nobody there as the Stars get a hold of it. Bayreuther drops that one back. Nyberg lifted in. Hall tried to move it quickly, and they do get it right back to Ben Smith. Smith trying to fight his way through Dickinson, who got it, moved it one way, but the puck quickly came back the other. Fighting at the red line for it. Bayreuther throws a stick into the conversation, and he comes away with it. And then he gives it away to Engvall, who gets across the blue line, slices in, but then Dickinson takes him to the wall, and Pierre Engvall was trying to move it back. It ends up with Rope Hintz, and he sends it all the way in to the far side. Dermott lets it go. Engvall trying to get a touch to it. Puck still there. Dickinson has Hintz going to the goal, and it is played back to the line. Scarlett, last minute of play here in the first period as Dermott comes back from behind the goal. Hintz gets a stick on it again. It pops up. Wagnerchuk takes a shot from behind and a hand pass, and it's coming out across the line for the faceoff.
Well, the Texas Stars trying to generate some offense to try to get their cycle game working and to try and drop some plays to get some chances to get on the board here. 44.1 seconds to go here in period number 1. And they had the first couple of shots early on in that first shift or two, and since then they've only managed just 2 more shots, so 4 shots on goal. And that's something where this Toronto Marlies team has done such a terrific job defensively, is not allowing teams to get too many chances.
Johnson comes back off the draw. Hetherington races back for it. 40 seconds. In this first period, the Stars' long pass up, trying to get by Hall. They don't. Marincin taps it back, and the Stars regain it. Sheldon Dries all the way back in. Sparks will touch it behind his own goal. Play it off into the corner. Dries there to pick it up, and he tries to step around Marincin, as many have before, and not succeeded. Through the middle. Grundstrom there to pick it up. Less than 10 seconds. Marincin. Looks like he's just going to protect it as he sends it back up for Johnson, and they indeed are. After 20 minutes of play, the Toronto Marlies and the Texas Stars in game number 6 are tied up at 0 apiece. The Marlies outshooting the Stars 16-4. Stick around, we've got plenty to come in the intermission of game number 6 of the Calder Cup Finals. This is Scotiabank Toronto Marlies playoff hockey. And in the better part of that first period, out-chancing the Texas Stars here in the first period, but it remains 0-0.
Welcome back to Ricoh Coliseum. The fans on their feet. They have been entertained to date. 2 more periods in the book, perhaps more. We're getting a look at Brian Marchment, left-hand side, former rough defenseman, 1 year with the Toronto Maple Leafs, 17 seasons in the National Hockey League, and a proud dad of this young man, Mason Marchment. Mason working hard to get to where his dad once was, and you talk about a late bloomer getting into junior hockey and working his way into this Marley system, signing on as a free agent, but now with an opportunity looking ahead, possibly, of joining the team that his dad once played for. Let's send it back upstairs. Proud Brian Marchment and company watching on here tonight.
Well, he's a lucky dad. Mason Marchment's just a tremendous young guy to be around over the course of an American Hockey League season, traveling about with him. He's been an absolute treat, that's for sure. As we get set here for the second period, the shot 16-4 in favor of the Toronto Marlies. Mason Marchment's line of Adam Brooks and Trevor Moore through this series has provided all sorts of opportunities, scoring, hits, just about everything you could ask for if you're Sheldon Keefe and company. We're ready to go as Frederic Gauthier getting set to take the draw in this game 6, tied at 0 apiece. Justin Dowling opposite him, and we're ready to go. Let's get at some hockey. Second period. Dowling ready to step in. The crowd on its feet. Gauthier wins it back as Marincin plays it along Greening. Eases it into the zone. Bayreuther goes after it with some speed. Moves it back for Nygaard. It gets to Justin Hall, but it's played up and all the way down the ice. Marincin swiftly moving it, trying to find Gauthier, the outstretched stick. Frederic Gauthier unable to recapture that. At the red line, that one all the way back in. Marincin right back over Justin Hall. Trying to lift it off for Gauthier. Oh, he got a hit, and now Engvall steps away with it. Greening down the right side. Marincin following it up, and Greening plays it in. And he comes back over to the bench if the Marlies interested in a change. Markison working against Calle Rosen. Rosen back up ice. Knows what it's like to win a championship. Comes back in on the back end. Rosen out front! And a great chance, but Marchment couldn't find it. Lifted toward the goal. Back over. Rosen winds up. Hard shot side of the goal. Loverde after it again. Leaves it back for Moore. in behind the goal and back out the near side. Quick to it is Adam Brooks, and through the middle he comes. Trevor Moore is back there ready to pick it up, and he does. Brings it across the line, but he runs into trouble at the bench of the Texas Stars. Travis Dermott. Brooks just drops it back, and Dermott dumps it in. Didn't get far. Regner there to pick it up. Brooks pushes it behind the goal. As the Texas Stars try to sort things out through the middle. Boy, that one went all the way back down the ice, and it'll be picked up on the icing call.
Well, Valley Rosen, who scored 2 goals in game number 5 to help the Marlies get this 3-2 advantage, really using his legs again as he powers around the goal, and then up the wall he goes, and he's going to drive deep, and then he's going to throw the puck out front, and Mason Marchment thinks he's going to have a chance to put it on the goaltender, but a terrific defensive play by Jason Dickinson, who comes back and ties up Marchman's stick and doesn't allow him to get that loose puck.
Liljegren quickly to Dermott. Johnson down the boards. Regner tight on him. Johnson in his feet, turns around. He hit there by Mangine, and he's playing some forward tonight as Hintz takes it across the line, but Liljegren rubs him out. And now Liljegren trying to get his helmet back on and get back into the play. Lost his stick in the process. Picks it up. Here's Grundstrom. Johnson followed up. Grundstrom carrying it out front, looking for Johnson. He just wanted to get a tap to that one. Back through the middle. Ramielli with a little bit of room, and he was looking for Bodnarchuk. Off his stick and back out. This one across the blue line. Here's Loverde looking to center it back over for Timashov. Out of the corner, Loverde again. He turns back. He's got Mueller there out front, and Timashov backhander. Dribbling side of the goal. It is cleared into the corner and picked up and back out by Reese Scarlett.
Wow, Timashov with a good spin backhand move, and McKenna with a big save, and then Ben Smith trying to find a loose puck on the top of the blue paint. He can't come up with it.
Lifted back into the Toronto zone. Joel L'Esperance after it. Rosen in the mix. Timashov up the wall as Mueller knocked down on the play by Bayreuther. Digging in amongst Mueller's ribs. They pick it up as McKenzie fights his way out front. Loverde clears it away, and now Dowling back up to the blue line. Blocked by Smith as he picks it up and looks cross ice. He decides to lift it back and get in a change. Nyberg, boy, he had the captain Curtis McKenzie a long way down the ice, but he didn't want to try it. Right back in. Following up on the play, trying to get it back over to McKenzie again, but it gets by. Onto the stick of Justin Hall, and across the blue line come the Marlies with Greening just offside. He tried to hold up and hang on, but those skates wouldn't do it.
Still no score in this hockey game, but the Toronto Marlies knocking on the door again. This time Vincent Laverde with the backhand play towards front. Timashov kicks it from his skate up to his stick in the backhand move. He tries to go short side, and McKenna just gets a piece of his glove on it. The puck squirts away, but on the doorstep was Mueller, and he can't quite pick up that loose puck, and the Stars clear the zone. So Toronto still trying to see if they can get that opportunity to score the first goal of the hockey game as they continue to lead on the shot clock. It's now 18-4 in favor of the Toronto Marlies, but no score.
A little touch, gets it up to Gauthier. Scott Hall heading down ice. Marchment was in the middle of that too, as Marchment now out with Greening and Gauthier. Markinson back up ice. Gauthier. Marincin, long pass, and that one travels up and into the concourse area. As Colin Greening comes back over the bench, got to believe they'll make a change here. Everybody will. Some fresh legs as we get the draw at center ice. That'll bring out Miro Altonen to take the draw. Opposite him, Rope Hintz. Hintz won it back, and the Stars. Altonen trying to move it back along for Janssen, but it was just behind him. Back across the line. Altonen goes chasing, but Hintz is there to pick it up. He tried to center it, and now it comes back. Hintz, a great chance, shoots, and it goes off the body and off into the corner. But boy, did that one look like it had some eyes. Here's Janssen spinning around. Scarlett trying to take it off of him, and Dermott comes back for a little protection. Mangine right there as the puck squirts back over to Janssen. He picks it up and right back the other way. McKenna came back out into it. Hintz, he's got Flynn chasing it up, and that pass centered but by Flynn.
Well, good shift by the Stars, and Hintz was the guy that got things going on a couple of different occasions, but can't quite connect with that pass.
Moore
to
turns
Flynn.
around, centered back out, hard shot by Brooks, but up into the glass. And now Moore chases it down again. Brooks waiting for it. Out front, trying to find Loverde, who had snuck in. Marchman again lifts one to the goal as it goes side of the goal and comes out the near end. Loverde comes back, pushing it back to Brooks. A great shift by the young line of Marchman, Brooks, and Moore. Rosen with a little bit of room to run now. Through the middle, trying to feed it along to Moore. He'll have to do some work. Into the corner, picked up by the Stars. McKenzie doesn't get it out. Moore out to chase it down. Oh, he'll go off. He at the end of his shift. Timoshaw invested in trying to knock that one down as it's L'Esperance across the line, but it's offside and they back up. Through the middle, Hall, smooth skater across the line, gets down into the corner. Bayreuther gives him a touch. To the far side it goes. Dowling trying to move it back out cross ice. McKenzie there protects it and moves it back to Bayreuther. To the far side, past Dowling as Marincin turns to get away from him. Shovels it up the boards and takes an extra shot in the process. Trying hard back out front. Here's a chance. McKenzie scores. And the crowd hates it. As Curtis McKenzie decked Marty Marincin. Take a look at this.
Well, the Texas Stars draw first blood in this one, and it goes to the corner. Martin Marincin comes back to play the puck. He gets bodied by Dowling on the play, and then the second hit by Curtis McKenzie when the puck is already gone. So the Stars get away with one in this situation. There's no doubt about it, because that's a hit when the Toronto Marlies have the puck. It goes off a Marley player, and Dowling chips it to McKenzie, and he makes no mistake of pulling it from his backhand to the forehand and shoveling it underneath the goaltender, Garrett Sparks. And the Texas Stars have gotten the first goal of the hockey game with 13:14 to play in period number 2. And McKenzie's 11th goal, which leads everybody here in the Calder Cup playoffs. And a big one at that as the Stars on the board.
Coming in again. Here's Dickinson toward the goal, pops up and over the net as Greening tapped off his stick, drives, shot right on, turned aside as Sparks only faced 7 shots now in this hockey game. Greening waiting, moving it down into the corner. Engvall right after it. Near side corner. Flynn in behind the goal again. And now how big is Mike McKenna and the pucks he saved in this hockey game. Here comes Janssen, right back at it, across the blue line, trying to cut in, hangs up, lost an edge, and still after it. And is knocked off a couple of sticks, and Regner is able to get a hold of it. Back through the middle with some speed. Mangine cutting in. Puck loose out front. Sparks getting back to his feet. Out front off the post. And now Hetherington as the Stars pressuring here with the Marlies in the Toronto end. Stepping back along the near side, and it is the Marlies who recapture it. Janssen will pick it up, but he's got to dump that one in. He doesn't get it far, and now the Stars get it back in across the line. Quickly, Moore was off the bench, and he makes an impact as he comes back to it. Trevor Moore in through the middle and across the line. Waits, Marchman shoots, rips one right on goal, and Mike McKenna saw that one coming. Curtis McKenzie has been dangerous for the Texas Stars throughout the Calder Cup playoffs.
Well, after the 1-0 goal for the Texas Stars, they're looking for more, and it's Matt Mangine, who's been relegated to going back up front as a forward here tonight, and he uses his speed wide. It's poke-checked off his stick by goaltender Garrett Sparks, but then Mangine ends up with that puck again, and short side, he hits the goal post on the short side and out the other way, and the Texas Stars have gotten the first goal, and they almost opened up a 2-goal advantage here as the Marlies trying to get their game back on track after the Stars surprise everybody here in this Ricoh Coliseum, as you got over 8,000 faithful thinking that the Marlies have this game in full control, and all of a sudden now are trailing 1-0.
Here's Moore. He looks out front, drives behind the goal. Out for Brooks. He tried to just ease one to the goal. Here's one, side of the goal. And reaching out and grabbing it, dropping his stick in the process, Mike McKenna, as he makes the save. Boy, he looks invested in this one, Mike McKenna does.
Yeah, he sure does, but the Adam Brooks line again, swarming all over the Texas Stars, looking to see if they can get the goal to tie this hockey game up. His last shift out there, Brooks's line, he had a golden chance to fire the puck past McKenna. He shot it over top of the goal, and again they're pressing as they walk from below the goal line to try and get that puck out front, but McKenna does a good job of finding the loose puck to get the whistle.
One back by Brooks. Marincin high on the line, out front, knocked down was Marchment. He gets back up and gets a hold of the puck. Moore looking to give it a touch as Brooks moves it back. Finding Marincin again. This one down the wall. Moore from behind the goal. They'll have to race for this one. Puts the feet on it. And now Moore comes back. Cross ice. Marincin off the boards. Waits. Over for Brooks, who is diving in on the backside, the stick side. Back up high on the line. Ben Smith looks, shoots, slams off the boards. Comes back to Smith with some help. And now Marchment trying to find Smith again. He does. Marchment behind the goal. Adam Brooks has Hall parked out front. Adam Brooks steps out, shoots. Boy, he was going upstairs. And Marincin again. This time at the line it is kept in, but the Marlies trying to change out a lot of pieces here. And it is sent back down the ice for Justin Hall as he gives it back to Marincin. Off the boards, Timoshaw. Slow roller, gives it back to Marincin. Cross ice, Timoshaw breaks in across the line, and he tried to fire it back in. McKenzie in the way of it. And now here comes Dowling with Morin. And trying to stay onside was Travis Morin. Getting in the way of it, Chris Mueller. Here's Smith. Back up the boards, not out. And now it does get to the line, but it's kept in as Timoshaw puts his foot to it. And out across the line it comes. Dmytro Timoshaw steps away from McKenzie. Off the boards and across the line, Ben Smith. He sends it in as the Marlies interested in a change. Timoshaw battles for it. Bayreuther looks up ice. And that gets by everybody. Rosen races back for it. Plays it back. Janssen down the right side. Following it up. Here's Altonen through the middle. Rips one on goal. That glances off McKenzie as Janssen comes back. Altonen. Grundstrom. What a stop by McKenna on Grundstrom.
Wow, you're not kidding. And McKenna stretches out.
Here comes Morin back the other way.
Looks
in, he shoots side of the goal. And now Morin again. Back out front. Hintz. Too much traffic out front. And it's lifted to the line and out. And down the ice it goes as Regner looking to get a hold of it. He does. He moves it back out and it's played in. Sparks has it get by him. Mangine behind the goal. What a lift that goal gave the Texas Stars, playing better here in the second period. But it rolls out. Janssen looking to get to it. Scarlett gets his stick on it. Janssen will go to the bench. Chip back through the middle. Hintz knocked off his stick. Greening turns around on it. Pursued from behind by Mangine. Greening knocks it into the corner. Comes back looking for help. Engvall after it too. Scarlett out of the corner and digging for it is Pierre Engvall. It squirts just a little bit loose, and Greening tried to come back after it as the Stars get it out of their own zone. Justin Hall, L'Esperance right on top of him. Hall turns around, and then he's going to try push it to Rosen, which he does. He finds Engvall down the left side. Engvall cuts into the middle. Slices across the line. Greening sends it down behind the goal. Hall after it. Greening trying to get back to it. A hand pass is called. 7:35 left to go here in the second period. The Toronto Marlies down 1-0 to the Texas Stars.
Well, the Texas Stars goaltender Mike McKenna has been perfect on the night so far. 23 shots, 23 saves, and none bigger than the one here as Miro alternate spots Carl Grundstrom right coming down the slot area, and he tries to keep it on the forehand and shovel it underneath that right pad of the goaltender McKenna. You just see him stretch out that right leg. He gets a toe on it to prevent the Toronto Marlies from tying up the hockey game at 1. And 7:38 to play here in this second period. Curtis McKenzie's goal, his 5th in 6 games, has the Stars out to a 1-0 advantage.
Well, Carl Grundstrom, 3 game-winning goals in the playoffs. And what a year he has had in the playoffs for the Toronto Marlies. They need that line to come up big. Brooks off the draw, L'Esperance as Moore picks it up. Can't take it far. Austin Fighton sends it right in on goal, and Garrett Sparks will play it along for Loverde. He's got a little bit of time to work with. And now Rosen looks up ice. Long pass. Regner cuts it off. And right back into the Toronto zone again. Up the boards. At the line. Hetherington. Long shot. Sparks. Boy, it took a right turn, but Sparks had the right glove.
Well, goaltenders in the game today have to be so quick with their reflexes, and because of the fact that all the different teams are trying for these high slot tips, and the shot from the blue line, and Remy Ellie gets his stick out there, and the puck goes from the right side to the left, and in a hurry, and Garrett Sparks, cat-like reflexes, corrals that loose puck, and we'll have a face-off to his right here in the Toronto zone.
Gauthier in behind the goal. Marincin as Dickinson working to it. Up along the near side. Bayreuther chips it down into the corner. Gets back. Hall trying to keep his man off it. Sheldon drives back behind the goal again. Dickinson trying to step back out. He's got Justin Hall on. Back up high at the blue line. Engvall has a little time to get to this one. Dips it off the wall, and it's picked up briefly by Greening, but now Bayreuther over to the far side. Marincin, as the Texas Stars doing a pretty good job holding it inside the Toronto zone. And Justin Hall just lifts it back out into center ice, but Gauthier picks it up across the line. He's got Greening heading to the goal, and he sent it off the defenseman right off the boot. Greening back up, Rosen toward the goal, tipped, and a great stop as Gauthier got a good chunk of that one.
Yeah, nice redirection by Gauthier off the stick of Calle Rosen, but again, Johnny on the spot is Mike McKenna as he gets that right pad down in time.
On one all the way down the ice. Flynn trying to pick it up off the boards. Hintz cuts in, puts it out front, centering pass, shot up into the glass. And off into the far boards. Again, here's a chance. Mangine turns around. Bodnachuk, hard shot. Sparks with the save. The Texas Stars have had some chances here in the late second period as they lead this hockey game at Ricoh Coliseum.
Trailing 1-0 here on home ice against the Texas Stars in Game 6, but stay the course is what you can see Sheldon Keefe encouraging his players. Stay with the game plan. Let's keep working. Hey, every one of these games, the first 4 were a 1-goal hockey game. Game number 5, Toronto blew it open and was a 6-2 victory. And now here we've got a 1-goal game again. And the Toronto Marlies are certainly used to that because during the course of the regular season, a very tight defensive-minded hockey club, always knowing what to do in tight games, and this is exactly the same. As even though they're trailing, they're not going to try anything in desperation now. It's sticking with the course.
Chris Mueller ready to step in. Justin Dowling opposite him, stick side of Garrett Sparks, and Mueller takes a swipe at it and in amongst the feet and is picked up. It rolls side of the goal. Sparks throws a stick to it, but doesn't get to it, and it comes back out. Ben Smith working back with Janssen. Smith down the right side, leads it down into the corner. Janssen quick after it. Smith there too. Janssen picks it up high. Hall works down into the corner, out front. Smith on a backhand, he couldn't get it away. And now McKenzie holding off Janssen. And now he takes a shot from Laurentian out front. Great chance, scores! Travis Morin. And the Stars go up 2-0 on just 12 shots.
Well, the Texas Stars have silenced the crowd here at the Ricoh Coliseum, and they have struck again, and this time it is Justin Dowling, and the big hit by Morenton, but it's Garrett Sparks who plays the puck, and he doesn't get a good shot away. It's blocked by the skate of Dowling, and he's going to pick it up, and he's going to chip it past the Toronto goalkeeper. So a mental error on the case of the Marlies goalie, and it ends up in the back of their own goal, and it's a 2-0 advantage here for the Texas Stars. And the top line for the Texas Stars, both goals again here tonight. That's 10 goals during this series for that top line.
Turning around, Dries comes back up. Hetherington far side with traffic, and now Dermott pokes it ahead. Grundstrom racing to it. Carl Grundstrom across the line, trying to cut back in toward the goal, and he is hammered into the net with 4:36 remaining. Carl Grundstrom trying to power himself back in, stick side of McKenna, could not quite accomplish the feat.
Well, he ran out of real estate on that play. It's a good job by Regner to not allow Grundstrom to turn the corner, and he ends up running into the side of the goal and taking the net off. But he wasn't going to make that play to be able to get out front again of McKenna. And Grundstrom, who scored a goal in that 6-2 victory on Thursday or Saturday evening in Austin, Texas, looking to see if he can get one back here for Toronto. Is 4:36 to go here in the second period, and they continue to trail 2-0 here to the Texas Stars.
Adam Brooks, a whack at it as Brooks escapes into the corner and then gets some pressure, but Adam Brooks still to it, finds Marchment. Little backhander, doesn't get through to Trevor Moore. Regner. Rosen comes in after it, knocked down at the line by Brooks. And cross ice finding McKenzie as he gets across the line, centering it. Moore gets away, and then he's tripped in the process. The crowd wants a penalty, they don't get it, and they haven't got a lot of them in this series. Here's Regner again as Marchment steps to it. Across the blue line comes Moore and Marchment toward the goal, knocked down, and Moore along the near side wall. Marchment whips one toward the goal, doesn't get there. Dermott on the backhand, plays it in. Brooks out of the corner, trying to play it back up high. Dermott, little dip back as he hopes Brooks can get back to it. Travis Moore, and right there, and Remielli sends it cross ice into open territory. Back into the Toronto zone. It comes back for Dermott. In behind his own goal. Liljegren up ice. Played in by Gauthier hard. Gets by McKenna. Greening plays it back to Gauthier. Looking from behind the goal. Gauthier steps out. Looking to get the shot away, but it converged on him. As they play it back out into center, Liljegren turns it around as Greening fighting for it, fights him off, shoots, scores! 3-0 Stars as they put one over the shoulder of Garrett Sparks on just their 13th shot of the hockey game.
Well, Austin fighting, what a terrific job of stripping the veteran Colin Greening of the puck just outside the Toronto blue line. And it starts in the Texas zone where they separate Toronto from the puck, and then Greening picks up this loose puck in the neutral zone, and Fighton just absolutely takes it away from the veteran, and then he fires it past the blocking glove of Garrett Sparks, and just like that, the Texas Stars have now gained a 3-0 advantage with 2:56 to play here in period number 2.
Timashov goes after it deep into the corner. There goes Smith as well. The Stars had a tough one in Game 5. The Marlies doing the same here. Although they have carried the majority of the play, out shooting the Stars 24-13. They haven't got it by McKenna, lifted toward the goal. That one goes up and out of play with 2:29 remaining. The Stars have capitalized, Bob, on their chances, and that has made all the difference.
No question about it. And you have to be a team that when you get a chance, hey, you were outshot during the course of period number 1 by 16-4, but your goaltender kept you in the game. And then in the second period, you get a break as the Marlies try to clear a puck out of the zone. It hits a skate, and then it ends up in the back of their net. And then again, the goaltender throws one away and gives it away, and it ends up in the back of your net for another one. And then the third one is a turnover just outside your own line.
Here's Marchment from
and
behind
now
the goal.
You find yourself in a 3-goal deficit.
Back up high, Liljegren throws one down, and boy, it didn't miss by much. Brooks picks it up, throws one toward the goal. It doesn't get there, and it's lifted back down the ice. But boy, they're looking for Sheldon Dries, who is in behind Brooks. And now Liljegren and Rosen back up, and Janssen steps into it, trying for some speed down the wall, kicks it over to Brooks. Moore just could not convert on that one, and he spins out of it, and they both go down. As Trevor Moore fights back to it, the 2-on-1 from Brooks and Moore doesn't connect. Lifted back to center. And Loverde, Dowling winds up, hard shot, Sparks with the save. 1:28 left to go in the second period.
Well, the Marlies fighting to get on the board here to get some momentum back on their side. Andreas Janssen kicks the puck to Adam Brooks, and then he has to make a little sauce pass to try and feed it to Trevor Moore, but he gets too much on it, and then he can't corral it, Trevor Moore, to try and chip it past the goaltender Mike McKenna. So the Marlies knocking on the door, but unable to come up with a quality chance to get on the score sheet.
Frederick Gauthier in against Dowling. You have to know the Stars. They only need to win one. That was their mantra coming into this one. Lifted toward the goal. Doesn't get there. Tie the series up, and then Game 7. That's what they were thinking. Just win one. Then we'll see what happens. Knocked down and thrown out. Marincin turns around. Up 3-0. Boy, they put themselves in a great spot. Gauthier. Marincin trying to step back to it is Engvall. Less than a minute to go. Here is Gauthier, keeps it in. To the far side it goes. Dowling lifts it back up, but not out. And they say it makes contact on the bench.
Now the faceoff's going to come out into the neutral zone. But, you know, it's one of those things where the Texas Stars, survived the first period pushed by Toronto, and then they get that first goal, and it really seemed to loosen them up a little bit, and it almost, you could feel the Marlies starting to squeeze their sticks that little bit, and now all of a sudden they find themselves in a real deep hole at 3-0, and no team in this series has won more than one game in a row as they've traded victories back and forth as we get here to Game 6 tonight.
Joel Esperance across the line, and there's Fighton looking for another one. He sent it off Ben Smith, who got a hold of it. Rosen trying to find Mueller to come back in. Liljegren lifts it down, but he caught the defenseman. Back down the ice it goes. Rosen comes back and icing the call with 14.4 seconds left to go. Well, the Marlies will go into this intermission stunned by what happened in the second period.
Without question, but you know, if you're going to win a championship, you got to look adversity straight on. And you know, it is something where, yeah, it's a big hole, but guess what? 20 minutes is still a long time. And the Texas Stars have done their job here in this second period for sure.
L'Esperance drives out wide, tries to come in, puts one off. Sparks as the period expires here. A stunning second period for the Rico faithful as the Stars up 3-0, Bob.
Well, the Texas Stars and Derek Laxdal said, hey, we're only here to try and just win one game. That's all we want. And so far, they've done a great job through 40 minutes. They're doing a tremendous job in that second period, and as a result, they really find themselves in a great position here after 40 minutes.
Well, there you see, only 14 shots. The Marlies have taken 24. I suppose the recipe for the third period for Sheldon Keefe and the Toronto Marlies is just keep pressing and see what might develop in the third period. We'll be back with that in a moment.
Welcome back to Rico Coliseum, Texas 3, Toronto no score after 2 periods of play. And a time-tested tradition in the sport of hockey, especially when you get to play into mid-June. Well, it is the shape of one's beard, and most letting these beards go, some good, some not so bad. There's, I think it's Curtis McKenzie, yes it is, and we get a look around here, and these guys work at it. Timothy Liljegren, 19 years of age, outstanding beard. Mike McKenna at age 35, well, you'd have to think, given his age and maturity, that the beard would be good. No question, Vinny Laverty probably with the best beard, but the best beard in the house. And ZZ Tops isn't here, but this gentleman is. And if the grass doesn't grow on busy streets atop his head, well, it certainly grows on his chin. Justin Hall as well. And listen, guys, I can go on and on. Take it away, please, before I put another foot in my mouth.
Well, hair today, gone tomorrow, I suppose. That's 35 seconds before the puck drops for period number 3. The Marlies, Bob, will have to do it just one at a time if they hope to get back into this one.
Well, you're right about that, and I'm sure the big thing is they're going to talk about the fact that, hey, let's get one, you know, we got 10 minutes, you know, before the 10-minute mark of the third period, get one, you get the crowd back in it, you get the other club on their heels. But the biggest thing is you can't take chances too soon where you give outnumbered opportunities going the other way for the Texas Stars, because if they can tack another one on, that's gonna be it for the Marlies, I'm sure, on this hockey game.
Frederick Gauthier out to start the period. Justin Dowling opposite. 20 minutes for the Marlies to try and tie it up. Down 3 as Gauthier wins it back. Marincin tosses it ahead, and the Stars get a hold of it. Odnerchuk sends a long one in. It'll be picked up on the icing call and brought all the way back on the free ride to start out this third period. Martin Marincin, he took quite a hit on that Curtis McKenzie goal.
Well, he took the big hit on the first goal, and then the second goal, he was looking to dish out the big hit to Curtis McKenzie and knock him down, but it was Garrett Sparks who ended up turning the puck over to Travis Moore, and it found its way to the back of the net for the second goal. And obviously another one came after that off the stick of Austin Fighton, and as a result, the Marlies in a deep hole here as we continue on here in period 3.
Great pass over to Dowling, shoots, Sparks. Boy, he caught that one awkwardly, but he caught it. As the Stars top line continues to find ways to do damage throughout the playoffs and against these Marlies.
Well, this line again, 2 more goals in this hockey game, and 21 points in this series between those 3. And they are the 3 veterans, the 3 lone holdovers from the Calder Cup championship team from back in 2014. And they're looking for another one.
Send it wide. No panic in their game. Neither team has given up 2 wins to the other team in a row. Here's Hall. Across the line, Mueller. Johnson tried to get across ice back to Smith, but it didn't go. Dickinson again. at the line. He lost it. Janssen picks it up. He's got some real estate. Andreas Janssen shoots, and that one up high and out of play.
Well, the Stars scrambling back as they change, as transitioned by the Toronto Marlies. And it's Gavin Bayreuther who gets his stick in there as blowing a tire as Jason Dickinson, and then the Marlies right back the other way. But coming off the bench is Bayreuther, and he gets the stick in the way to deflect that puck up and over the safety of the mesh behind their goaltender.
Bayreuther picks it up. Marchment to it. He'll fight for the puck as he pulls it off the boards, but right there to move it back the other way. And Flint back in. Hintz waiting for it. And that puts back out front. Boy, Hintz had a great chance. Never did get the puck. Lifted back in. Loverde comes after it. He'll work down in the corner, and then he realizes he's got to get back. Picked up by Janssen. Turns around, cross ice. Rosen scores! Kalle Rosen puts the Marlies on the board early in this third period as he beats Mike McKenna for the first time in the hockey game.
A minute and 37 seconds in, you get the puck down below the goal line, and it's going to be Janssen who picks up the loose puck after Brooks dishes it out of the corner, and on the far point is Rosen, and he takes a couple of steps to his left, and he just snaps the puck. And I don't know if this goes off the shaft of the stick of Grundstrom out front, but if it's a Calle Rosen goal, that's going to be his fourth goal of this series and his third in the last two hockey games. And the Marlies needed an early one. They've gotten just that. It's a 3-1 game, and you've just, in fact, lit the fuse to get this crowd back involved in this hockey game.
Fifth goal for Calle Rosen. Liljegren chases it back. And Grundstrom works up the wall. Hetherington back. Clayton looks out front. Up the side of the goal. Sparks at the post. Regner down toward the goal, comes out the near side. Hetherington swiftly after it. Tapped away from him. Liljegren trying to get to it. Esperance, nice little move, but he doesn't get it there. Lundstrom picks it up. Cross ice, he was looking for help, but didn't get it sharply over. Here's fighting again. Out of the corner and through on a centering pass. Janssen turns around and sends it over to Dermott to cook it up. Dermott quickly. Liljegren as the Marlies on a change. Back up the boards. Greening at the line, knocked down, Dowling, and down into the corner as Dermott comes back to it again, but makes a nice little pass. And out comes Engvall. Odd man rush as Engvall cuts in with speed, shoots, and a penalty coming up. Reese Scarlett will go, and the Marlies will go to the power play.
Wow, what a turn of events. And some terrific speed through the neutral zone by Pierre Engvall, and he's going to have Reese Scarlett beat as he goes to fire the puck. Scarlett gets the stick across the hands of Engvall. He doesn't get the shot away he would have liked, and the referee deems that's a slashing penalty, and we'll have the second power play of the hockey game. It's going to go to the Toronto Marlies, and they are looking to get this crowd really revved up if they can connect here on this power play chance. 0 for 1 so far in the game, and just 1 for 13 in this series.
Off the draw, back up. Here's Rosen. Shoveling it back over Mueller. Side of the goal. Comes back up along the near side. Rosen quick to it, trying to keep it in. But it's lifted back up and out. Sheldon Dries on a run. Mueller in front of him. Dries, shorthanded, scores. And the first shorthanded goal in the series, Sheldon Dries, and that puts the Stars up 4-1, and that is a hard one to take if you're wearing blue.
You're not just kidding, but a terrific second effort again on the play by Jason Dickinson as he gets hit as the D-man pinches to keep it in the zone, but then he chips it past, and Sheldon drives off to the races. He's a terrific skater, and he outlegs Chris Mueller and his first shorty of this Calder Cup playoffs, but his 10th goal, and that's the 4-1 goal to give the answer back for the Marlies scoring early in period number 3. And we're going to get a goaltending change as Garrett Sparks has given up the 4th goal here, and he's going to be replaced by Calvin Pickard in the Toronto net. But the Marlies still with a power play opportunity, 1 minute and 44 seconds to go. So just 16 seconds into that power play opportunity, the Stars connect the shorthanded tally, and they have regained the 3-goal advantage.
Shorthanded goals, so motivating. Teams that score them, boy, they have a tremendous record. As Altonen having a tough time with it, and now he works back behind his own goal. It'll be picked up by Andreas Janssen as the Marlies try to find some sort of success with their power play. Janssen drives out and then sends it down the wall. It gets behind everybody, and Hetherington will clear it all the way back down the ice. And the Marlies had only picked up 1 power play. Pickard out of the goal, and now McKenzie working it. Liljegren, and Pickard is going to put a glove on it. And now an offensive zone draw for the shorthanded unit of the Texas Stars. Marlies had only had 1 power play goal, and now they've given up a shorthanded goal. The extra man unit has struggled.
No question about it.
The
The special teams game, you know, it has to be the difference. And both coaches said the exact thing to me. You got to win the special teams battle. And the Stars in this series, you know, the Marlies power play scored in game 1 to win the hockey game, and game 2 it was the power play for the Texas Stars, and then the Stars scored in that 4th game.
There's more across the line, and Ellie breaks it up, and Timashov picks it up again and comes back to his own blue line. As he turns around, Timashov lifts it down into the corner. Flynn trying to get to it. Mueller. Here's Timashov. Back up to the point. Rosen there. Mueller gets some attention and gets it back to Rosen. Cross ice. Timashov looks in. Shot. Rebound. Trying to drag it in. And it would not fall. Back up it comes. Rosen. Timashov calls for it again. Out front. Tip. Stop. Side of the goal. Ellie, and now Scarlett up ice and broken up, but offside. Trevor Moore picks it up, and that one will come all the way back down the ice.
Well, the Toronto Marlies all over the Stars, but Mike McKenna comes up with a big pad save, and then the Marlies can't quite come up with the loose puck on the top of the blue paint, but then they're going to re-get the puck, and it's the tip right there, the redirection by Ben Smith, and McKenna with the blocker glove makes a tremendous save to keep the Marlies from getting a power play goal to cut back into this 3-goal advantage, because still lots of time. There's over 15 minutes to go here. That would have cut the lead again to just a pair of goals. But
Hall across the line,
doing a big job
trying
for the
to get
Texas
to it,
Stars.
but it's lifted back the other way. McKenzie gets it on a high stick touch, but it comes to the Marlies. Marincin off the boards. Gauthier runs to it, and it's knocked off his stick by McKenzie as he plays it back up more. A nice little move. Dowling in alone. Backhander off of Pickard. And now Greening taken away. Nice move by Moore to get that one, but the Marlies take it back. Gauthier, long shot. Side of the goal, Greening hard after it. Gauthier as well, turning around Bayreuther. Out of the corner, moving it, up ice. McKenzie, as Valverde comes back to it. Travis Dermott looks up ice. Tipped off the wall as Altonen sends it in. McKenna from behind his own goal will play it along, up along the far boards. Grundstrom working to it. Janssen picks it up, feeding along to Grundstrom, out of the corner, back to Janssen, looking out front. Altonen is up there, and Janssen doing some dancing, back around the other way, trying to work past Hins, puts it out front. That puck is swallowed up by Mike McKenna. Sheldon Dries comes up with a shorthanded goal to answer back to the Marlies. It's 4-1.
The Toronto Marlies on a power play, and Sheldon Dries gets sprung loose, and he makes no mistake as he scores a shorthanded goal, his 10th goal of the Calder Cup playoffs. And you know, he's got no assists, but I don't think anybody's gonna kid him about the Cy Young Award being 10-0, as that was a huge goal for the Texas Stars. And an undrafted player here in this Stars system, played at the Western Michigan University for 4 years, and in his first season here in the American Hockey League, 19 goals in the regular season, but he's been terrific for the Stars here in the Calder Cup playoffs.
Off the draw, comes back up. Rosen lifts it toward the goal, and it bounces in behind. After it goes Hetherington. Brooks on goal. And Mike McKenna kind of surprised him, but he got it, and he hung on to it. And he has faced his 30th shot in the hockey game. He has just been the difference, quite honestly. He kept the Marlies off of it, and the Stars have taken advantage of the miscues. Back up Brooks, along for more. He gets strides, takes it away, and we got a penalty coming up here. And a trip on the play.
It's going to go against Sheldon Dries. It's going to be a tripping call, as being upended in the offensive zone, Trevor Moore. So 13:25 to play here in Toronto again, as Dries gets his stick between the legs of Moore and catches him on the back of the knee, and down he goes.
And again, probably not a penalty if he doesn't get a chance the other way 2-on-1.
Yeah, you're right about that. But nonetheless, it is the third power play here of the hockey game for the Toronto Marlies. They're 0 for 2. And I think more than anything, it's the shorthanded goal against that is really the difference here in the third period to restore that 3-goal lead here for the Texas Stars.
Mueller, Smith, Moore, Janssen, Rosen, the power play unit for the Marlies. Jason Dickinson out with Curtis McKenzie. Rosen moves it back over. Mueller cuts inside of the goal, and this one back up to Rosen. Janssen looks in, out front, tip, out the side of the goal. Diving for it was Smith, but McKenna comes out with it.
Well, you know, hockey people always talk about puck luck, and you know, you've got to get lucky bounces sometimes, and certainly here in this game, Toronto hasn't had that puck luck for sure, as some pucks squirted the wrong way, and as a result, a couple found their way in the back of their goal, and it's been certainly on the side of the goaltender Mike McKenna, as he's made saves, and then pucks have squirted away from Toronto players, and he's been able to find them to get them for whistles.
Quickly, Janssen, Rosen, down low, here's a chance out front, shot, rebound, what a save by McKenna. He comes up with a big one on Ben Smith. Rosen with speed, then drops it back. Janssen back through the middle, he lifts it deep. Moves it quickly, Mueller. Up high, Rosen finding Smith again, draws in, shoots, and it goes off the goaltender low. Back over Janssen at the blue line. Rosen had to stretch to keep it in. Gets it back, looks inside of the goal, Mueller waiting on it. Cross ice, Janssen out front, what a save! Rebound! No! Over the top of the goal. Here's Mueller again, and he's getting back to it. High over, Janssen shoots. What a save by McKenna again. And the goaltender for the Stars is putting it all together. Smith down the wall, still after it. turns back up high, but then finds Mueller off his stick as he dives for it. Regner to it. Less than 30 seconds to go. Timashov backs up, picks it up, looking to center it back out, looking for Altonen. Here's Rosen again, high on the line. Timashov looks in, draws in, shoots. That one off bodies out front as Smith tried to get it back up high. Rolling out of the corner, Altonen from behind the goal now. Altonen looking for Mueller. Less than 10 seconds to go. Out front, tip, whacked at. Nobody makes contact after that, and then right back out. Sheldon Dries in alone. Now he's got Dickinson following it up. Timashov defending, centering pass. Dries missed out on that one as Gauthier comes back and sends it down into the zone. Along the end boards. Beirut were able to move it back for McKenzie. He gets it back and leads it up along the far boards. Engvall tried to play it back in and he missed on it. Cross ice. Justin Hall plays it in. Round behind it goes. And up along the near side, Justin Hall waits, lifts it toward the goal. Gauthier the shot, rebound, and Greening sent it wide. Back up at the line. Gauthier will retreat with it as Dowling right on top of him. Engvall's got a little bit of protection and a little room to run. Across the line, he doesn't like it. So he comes back to Timothy Liljegren. Liljegren trying to cut back in. Moved it over to Brooks. He sends it to the far side where Marchman collects it. Trying to get it right back to Brooks. Tipped over, Liljegren comes down deep after it. Couldn't convince that puck to get by Travis Morin, who carries it back up and lifts it across the line. Stepping into it was Travis Dermott. Here's Brooks, cross ice, but Moore had to wait until Marchman got across. And Marchman knocked down away from the play and was put offside. Mike McKenna has been spectacular. He's faced 39 shots by the Toronto Marlies, and a big flurry. He stops on a power play. We'll be back.
Now the Toronto Marlies looking to see if they can close the gap in this one, but putting on a clinic in this one is 35-year-old Mike McKenna, as he's been outstanding. He stops Ben Smith, Trevor Moore, and then another chance by Mueller there, redirected out in front. That was Ben Smith again, who gets the tip and the redirection in front of McKenna. He gets the right arm on it, and he has been outstanding as he's faced 39 shots in this one, and he's made 38 saves.
Off the draw, they don't like it. As time will be asked to put back on the clock. The Stars, as they have taken advantage of the miscues, and then the Marlies just have not been able to find a way to get it past Mike McKenna, except for one. That one skitters back down across the blue line as Austin Fighton steps to it, sends it toward the goal. Ramielli after it, off the boards, and Trevor Moore racing back the other way with it. Onto the backhand of Adam Brooks as he tried to play it back. Off the goaltender from Justin Hall. And back the other way they come. 2-on-1. Austin Fighton cutting in. Stop! And back up, but not out. Joel L'Esperance cuts back in toward the goal. Calvin Pickard tosses it away. Altonen coming back up through the middle. Plays it along. Janssen back in, looking for Altonen, but it's played away as it's in too tight on goal. Bodnerchuk. Janssen gets in the way of that. Got his stick on it, but couldn't get a hold of it. Now Dickinson fires a long one in as Pickard plays it away to Martin Marincin. Calvin Pickard coming in after Garrett Sparks chased from the game, just as the Marlies chase McKenna from game number 5. Altonen back along the far side to the line. Got to chip that one and keep it back in. Timashov. Puck in the feet, and Mueller comes in, and it pops up and out of play with 8:13 left to play in this third period.
Well, it's one of those games where, boy, oh boy, it's missed opportunities and then capitalizing on your chances when you've had not very many through the course of the game. And Mike McKenna came up with the big save at the right time in this hockey game, and Garrett Sparks couldn't do the same for his club, and as a result, the Marlies chasing this one. It's 4-1 with coming up to 8 minutes to play here in the third.
That one bounces in on Pickard, and he just scoops it up. He didn't want to see anything happening. He had Curtis McKenzie coming in after him.
Well, you know, and Calvin Pickard, who comes in relief of Garrett Sparks, and he started one game here in the Calder Cup playoffs, and that was in Game 3 in Syracuse when it was a back-to-back situation. The Marlies had won Game 2 in double overtime. They went to Syracuse the next night, and Pickard was outstanding in that victory in that hockey game, and now here in relief of Sparks.
Here's Rosen. Cross ice, long pass. Mueller trying to step by Hetherington. On goal. McKenna will hang on to that one. Just conservative with the play. No need to take chances. If you're the Texas Stars, just got to hold them off. 3 goals is a heck of a deficit in less than 8 minutes for the Marlies to try and overcome.
Well, if you're the Texas Stars, it's all about making sure you protect the house. They're going to send one forechecker in. They're going to make sure they've got guys stacked up across the blue line and all hands on deck in the defensive zone, because they want to try and protect this lead and not allow the Marlies to get closer and to try to get this crowd and the Marlies excited here in this last 8 minutes.
Warren lifts it cross ice. Loverde. Dowling tips it by, cuts it in on goal, but it's offside. A couple of bodies hit the ice, including Calle Rosen, who has the Marlies' only goal in this hockey game.
Well, I'll tell you, the number 1 line for the Texas Stars did their job in this hockey game today. Is you look to your veterans to show the way when you've got your backs against the wall. And that trio has come up with, you know, those goals, 1 and 2, and this one to give them the lead. And now it's a 4-1.
That went off the glass. They'll bring it all the way back into the Toronto Marlies zone. And there they are. There's the top line.
Justin Dowling with a pair of assists, and Travis Morin with another goal in this one. He's got 3 in this series. McKenzie's got 5 in this series. As those 3 veterans have certainly been the story for the Texas Stars, as we're looking for a Game 7 come Thursday night right back here at the Ricoh Coliseum in Toronto.
Well, the Marlies will have to do something spectacular in the final 7.5 minutes. Long pass ahead. Mangine didn't get that one. Here's Gauthier. Back in it goes. It only starts with 1. Cross ice. Marincin lifted in. Here's Hintz. Pickard comes out to play it. Has to get back toward the goal as Mangine lifted a backhander. Marincin trying to generate a little bit of speed through the middle as the Marlies under a change. Engvall couldn't bring it across the line. He handles it now and then steps back as Austin Fighton right there on top of him. Loverde onto the stick of Andreas Janssen. Lifts it down toward the goal as he goes down after it. Altonen back through the slot. Loverde a shot. Now just sending him in to see what might happen. Altonen and Janssen along the end boards. Knocked down Janssen. Tipped away. Back up. Rosen winds up. Hard shot. Bounces out front. Poked away. Rosen comes back looking for Grunstrom. Tender as McKenna comes up with another save, but this one will be picked up on the icing call with 6:08 left to play in the third.
Well, Toronto gets another opportunity, and this time it's going to be Grunstrom, because McKenna can't come up with the loose puck as it squirts away from him, and then the Marlies corral it, and it the pass from the blue line. Here's that first opportunity where McKenna makes a save, and it's laying there, but the Toronto Marlies can't come up with the loose puck. They gain possession again, and this time it's Carl Grunstrom who picks up the loose puck, and he tries to go far side over that right pad of McKenna again, and the veteran.
Here's Marincin in tight, looks out front, following it up Hall at the blue line. It's kept in by Timashov. Cross ice, Moore, Timashov toward the goal. He sent it wide. Smith will pick it up there and try to move it with Mueller, who gets it back up. Marincin wanted that bomb. Here's Hall. It wanders on his stick, and he sends it down. It pops out of the corner. Timashov trying to get a piece of it. Picked up briefly by Moore, but it's taken away by Remieli. Following it up, Timashov. He races to it, pokes it around, and then steps across the blue line. Out goes Pickard from the hockey game, and the Marlies with the extra attacker on. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Mueller trying to get it back out front. Chops at it. Here's Timashov, or Janssen rather, trying to get back to it. Reese Scarlett back up at the point. Rosen back over finding Hall. Lifted down in the corner. Timashov looks out front. Hall gets it on the back end. Sends it up and off the glass it goes. Mueller pressure out of the corner. Now Smith to it, comes away with it, back up high. Rosen there, has traffic, waits, shoots, knocked down, Hall scores! Justin Hall makes it 4-2 with 4:48 left to go in the third period, and the crowd here at Ricoh has not left the building.
Well, you never say die. You pull the goaltender, now you've got a 6-5 situation. Ben Smith gets it up to the point, the shot, and then picking up the rebound as he comes in from the blue line is Justin Hall, and he's going to slip this underneath that left pad of the goaltender McKenna, and his third goal of the Calder Cup playoffs cuts the lead to 4-2, still in favor of the Texas Stars, but we've got 4:48 to play, and there's still life in the Marlies.
Valverde, Marchment lays it along. He got an awkward hit there. Adam Brooks moving it. Marincin finding Valverde. Up ice, Brooks trying to move it. Marlies with some urgency in the game. Along to Marincin. He hangs up on the wall trying to fire it back in, but it's off a stick and out. And Marincin turns around along the near boards. Travis Moore in there. Adam Brooks battling the veteran for it as it's lifted down into the Toronto zone. McKenzie trying to remove himself from Martin Marincin as Loverde carries it across the blue line. Off to Smith, toward the goal. High off the glass behind the goaltender. Alton in there. There goes Pickard again. He's out of the net. Ben Smith coming back to it. Marlies with the extra attacker on. Loverde, he lost it at the blue line, but he's got to come back hard after it. Cross ice, finding Rosen. Marlies, boy, that one went off the stick, and now Loverde slipped, fell, tripping, and it does not matter. Empty net goal. 5-2 Stars, and the miscues again come back to get the Marlies.
Well, we talked about puck luck, and there you go again. This time the pass goes off a Marley skate as Marty Marincin or Rosen tries to throw it, and actually goes off a Texas Stars skate, and it bounces right to Jason Dickinson, or Markison, excuse me, as he's going to pick it up, and the Marlies desperately trying to get back to block the attempt. And Markison does a good job of hanging on, and he deposits it to the back of the empty net. And the Stars have regained the 3-goal advantage. It's a 5-2 game with 3.5 minutes to go here in the third period.
And ball out front, Goche with a chance. It's lifted back out into center ice. It sends some of the folks out early here at Ricoh Coliseum. That empty netter as Engvall trying to get to it. Greening. Hard down into the corner. Engvall there after it. Liljegren on the dig. And Greening in as well. The Stars happy enough to just burn out time now with 3:02 left to go and a 3-goal lead. We will be back with the final 3 minutes and 2 seconds. This is Scotiabank, Toronto Marlies hockey.
Have a 5-2 lead, and here's their 5 goals, and this one was after a 0-0 first period. 6:46 in, Curtis McKenzie makes it 1-0, and then Travis Morin would make it 2-0. Fighton would make it a 3-0 game late in the second, and Dry's shorthanded goal makes it a 4-1 game, and then a 5-2 game by Colin Markison as he gets the empty netter, and the Texas Stars with 3:02 to go have that 3-goal advantage.
Well, drama. That's a lot of drama for Game 7. It'll go Thursday night.
Every kid lives for. They've been in this position.
Here's Hall. Down into the corner, he goes after it. He got the 5-2 goal as he works it around for Mason Marchment. Knocked down as Brooks sent it back over to Morey, just beyond him. Lifted back out into center ice again. Cross ice, Marchment leading it along for Trevor Moore. As he picks it up again, Marchment trying to throw it back out front. Gets it high to Justin Hall at the blue line. That one battling for it out front. They had the goaltender McKenna down on his side on a 2-pad stack. Couldn't get it to him. Couldn't get it over him. 45 shots the Texas goaltender has faced. Grundstrom back in for Hall. What a night he's had. Lilligren back up. Lines up. That one side of the goal, that had some velocity on it. As Morin lifts it back out. Joel Lesperance goes after it. Knocked off his stick. Grundstrom picks it up from there. Less than 2 minutes to play here in period number 3. Game 6. Rosen, what a rip. And up into the glass it goes and back out. Well, the Stars did to the Marlies what the Marlies did to the Stars on home ice. And now they've picked up 2 victories here at Ricoh Coliseum, it looks like. Cutting back in off of Pickard. And Timashov just launches it back out into center ice. The Marlies went down to Texas. The agenda, of course, to win it all, but happy to take 2 on the road. And now Texas has done exactly that in the series as well. They've taken 2 here at Ricoh Coliseum. Greeny finding Loverde. That one goes up and into the neighbor's yard with a minute to go here in the 3rd period. The folks here at Ricoh will head down to the parking lot and out. Game 7 coming up Thursday night. We'll have that for you. Leafs Nation Network and TSN2. Look at the Game 7s. Houston defeats Hamilton. Called some games in that series. Rochester defeated Portland in '96, and then Adirondack defeated St. John's on the Rock. They are absolutely rare in this league.
Well, and the Marlies had won 8 consecutive home games after Game 1 victory, 6-5, and now have dropped back-to-back home games. So Game 7 back on home ice. You work all season to have home ice in the most important game of the year, and that's exactly where the Marlies will be.
Well, and those victories all coming on the road. Houston beat Hamilton. Adirondack on the Rock. They got a penalty coming up, but I suppose you got to call it. But with 17.7 seconds left to go, it's semantics. Now the Texas Stars put in one here in game number 6. Did they ever? As they came out with 5 goals and a shorthanded goal as well. Did not get a power play opportunity in the hockey game and still came out winners as the Marlies don't convert.
Reese Scarlett, his second penalty here of this 3rd period, but No consequence here whatsoever with 17 seconds to play. This one's going to go in the books.
And this one should go in the books as a big win for Mike McKenna. As Rosen looks over, Brooks toward the goal, and we got another penalty coming up. What is the point? Really? As they come in and have some more discussion here at the end of game number 6. Aggressive negotiating going on here with 0.7 seconds left to go.
Well, the penalty, the whistle went because Mason Marchman is going to get the call. He was battling in front of the goalkeeper, Mike McKenna. And I don't know if he's going to get a roughing or a stick infraction, but it doesn't really matter at this point with exactly what you say, Todd. With 0.7 seconds to play, it's going to be the drop of the puck and the game will be finished.
Well, Garrett Sparks chased from the game in this one. As I say, Mike McKenna in game 5 was chased. And now it comes down to this. Game number 7. The tension ratchets up. You have to wonder as a fan, you come back with Garrett Sparks? Of course you do. Baz Bastion winner. They're just going to let this one roll out. Boy, they're having
much like Mike McKenna, who had an outstanding game after getting chased. Garrett Sparks all season long, when he's had a poor outing, he's come back and has been terrific in the next game. So I would expect come Thursday evening back here, 7 o'clock at the Ricoh Coliseum in Toronto, Game 7 of the Calder Cup Finals. Garrett Sparks, I'm quite certain, will be in goal for the Marlies.
Well, it doesn't get any more exciting than a Game 7 as time finally does expire here. And Mike McKenna, congratulated by his teammates, and rightly so. Boy, did he come up with an absolutely terrific performance, turning aside 43 of 45 shots from the Toronto Marlies, who exit the ice with had a chance to win a Calder Cup on home ice in game number 6, but they'll have to go to game number 7 to see if they can do it.
Well, you're right about that, and full marks for Mike McKenna, and the veteran with his back against the wall. He did his job for his hockey club, but the Marlies have a day to relax and look back on what transpired here in game 6 and be prepared for game number 7. They have to find an answer for McKenna and get some big saves themselves for Garrett Sparks if they want to be Calder Cup champions come Thursday night.